Welcome to the first video in our tournament management series. This is the most important one, so if you only watch one video, make it this one. Everything we cover today happens before you open registration, and getting this foundation right will save you a significant amount of time down the road. Let us start at the very beginning, logging in. The login button at the top of your site works for everyone. Event owners, admins, scorekeepers, and coaches all use the same button. One account can be used across multiple events if your role is different in each one. If any returning coaches from a previous year run into trouble, they should use the Forgot Your Password link. The system has upgraded all previous email-only accounts to full accounts, so a simple password reset is all they need. Once you are logged in, navigate to the admin area. The overview dashboard gives you a quick snapshot of your key numbers and shortcuts to the most important sections. Think of it as your command center. The admin area is restricted to owners and admins, so your coaches and scorekeepers will never accidentally wander in here. Before anything else, let's open the settings area and work through it left to right. Here are the most important items to pay attention to. Your support contact must be an active staff member tied to a real account, not just a plain email address. This ensures your teams can always reach a real person, even if email addresses change over time. Under registration dates, take note of a helpful automation. If you update an upcoming registration date, the system automatically creates a notification campaign for anyone following your event, including team staff from last year. You do not need to send that email manually. Set up your tiebreakers now before any games are scored. Drag them into your preferred order and move any unused ones to the unused section. This is worth doing carefully up front, as changing tiebreakers after games have been scored will require those scores to be re-entered. If you want scorekeepers to manage infractions like red card suspensions, enable that here. Suspension notices are not sent automatically. You review and customize each one before it goes out. For scheduling defaults, set your calendar slot duration to 15 minutes. This controls the intervals your game start times snap to on the calendar, so a 15-minute slot keeps things clean and readable without overcrowding the view. The most important thing to understand here, game length is not just playing time. It's the full block from when one game starts to when the next game starts. So if a game runs 60 minutes and you want a 15-minute gap before the next one, enter 75 minutes as your game length. The end time is never displayed anywhere, so that buffer needs to be baked in. This is just the default though. Each pool can override it with its own game length if needed. Set your default team and roster limits here, including the maximum number of staff and players. One thing to note, the default guest players value is not added on top of your roster size. It is drawn from within it, so make sure your roster size accounts for that. If you want out-of-town teams to flag themselves so they can avoid weeknight games or late Sunday games to allow for travel time, enter a number in the out-of-town distance field. For gender options, only add mixed if you are actually running mixed gender pools. A shorter list reduces registration errors significantly. Enable travel permits if you expect teams from out of province. They will be prompted to upload their permit during registration. If you want to review teams before accepting payment, turn on payment approval. The team will be marked as pending approval and can pay once you activate them. This is a better workflow than using the waitlist for this purpose. The waitlist should only be used when an age group is genuinely full. On the topic of payments, it is now legal to pass the Stripe processing fee on to teams. So you no longer have to absorb that cost yourself. The system also has improved support for e-transfer payments. I recommend offering both options so teams can choose what works best for them. The notification worth highlighting here is Schedule Notifications. Enable this if you publish your schedule before it is complete. Any team that has already viewed their schedule online has likely shared it with players or added it to their calendar. So if you make changes after that point, this setting flags those teams automatically. That gives you a ready-made list to send a campaign to, letting them know their schedule has changed. It is especially useful for last-minute changes close to game day. Uploading a custom logo, changing your hero image, or even your brand colors to match your logo is important because first impressions matter. You can upload both a light mode and a dark mode logo, and more importantly, update your hero image. It appears on the public event directory and is often the first thing a potential registrant sees. Choose a striking, high-quality photo that represents your event. When selecting colors, pick a dark primary color from your logo and a lighter accent color for icons. Always check your site in both light and dark mode to confirm everything is readable. Bright yellow on a white background, for example, simply will not work. Once you have gone through every setting, click Save Settings. You will see a confirmation message at the top of the screen. You are now ready to move on. If you enable the sponsor feature, your website displays a tiered sponsor page with built-in application form. The system automatically tracks view and click data for each sponsor tier, which is valuable information you can share with your partners to demonstrate the reach of their investment. If you have Stripe set up, approving a sponsor application automatically sends them a professional invoice that they can pay online through Stripe. No manual follow-up is required. Without Stripe, you will need to send invoices manually. Either way, the system keeps a clean record of all sponsor relationships and their associated tiers. The remaining tabs cover Analytics and Reset, which we'll cover in their own videos.